Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into our time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
An hour of comedy. We're going to start off in New York City with Fred Allen. This episode originally broadcast April 9th, 1944. And if you understand the time, you will laugh your hiney off. And if you don't, you'll still find it funny, I'm sure.
It's Texaco time with Fred Allen. Texaco dealers from coast to coast present the Texaco Star Theater, starring Fred Allen, with Fred's guest, the popular cinema chap Reginald Gardiner. Portland Hoffa, Falstaff Openshaw, the Texaco Workshop Players, Hilo Jack and the Dame, and Al Goodman and his orchestra. This is Jimmy Wallington, suggesting that you see your Texaco dealer soon and change to the correct Texaco lubricants for spring. Thin, worn winter lubricants can't protect your car in coming warmer weather. With the correct grade of insulated Haviland motor oil, the right Texaco gear lubricants, and Marfac chassis lubrication, your car can run better and last longer. This is Easter Sunday, ladies and gentlemen, the day the little bunny leaves his colored eggs at your door. Tonight we can't bring you the little bunny and the eggs, but we can bring you a man who will give you a few old yolks. He's Fred Allen.
Thank you, and I just bit my tongue, Jimmy. The first piece of tender meat I've had for 2 months. Well, thank you, and good. I owe myself 7 points now. Thank you, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And Jimmy, I know you had a big day today. I saw you this afternoon in the Easter parade.
Oh, yes. Did you like my outfit, my silk hat?
Oh, Jimmy, your head looked as though it was hanging out of a ship's funnel there. And those tan shoes you had on were snappy, too. Your feet looked like 2 omelets with buttons on them as you...
But how about that Easter lily I was carrying?
The Easter lily, Jimmy?
Yeah.
You had the pot for it, James.
Say, Fred, did you hear the people cheer as I went by?
Oh, Jimmy, when your shirt front lit up and said, "Follow me to a Texaco dealer," I was proud of you.
Oh, that was some parade today. It was a little chilly marching.
Well, I know. It was so cold, some of the girls were mixing sterno in with their liquid stockings to keep their legs warm. It's a new sprinkle they have with... It was really a lot...
Mr. Allen!
Well, Portland, your left shoulder blade is in bloom, I see tonight. You're just in time, Portland. Jimmy and I were talking about the Easter parade.
Oh, Mama and I were in the parade.
Oh, were you really?
Uh-huh. Mama had a new hat. It's an off-the-face model.
Oh. Well, some of those off-the-face hats should be worn off the head from the look. I saw a woman with a hat today. It looked like a pot roast relaxing on a pen wiper. And the other woman with her had one of those little fur hats, you know, it looks like a blowout patch from a raccoon coat. Well, the woman had this little fur hat on. She looked as though a muskrat was backing out of her hair. It was quite a thing.
Mama bought me a new hat.
Really?
It's a bread crust.
A crust of bread is a hat?
Mm-hmm. I go out wearing the bread crust.
Uh-huh.
In 2 minutes, my hair is full of sparrows.
Full of sparrows, huh?
It's a pretty effect.
I'll take your word for it. You know, you could go out with nothing on your head, and in 2 minutes you'd be wearing woodpeckers. Well, this has been a great Easter, Portland. It certainly was a big egg week. A big week for eggs, wasn't it?
Mr. Wilkie laid a big one in Wisconsin.
I know. Yes, but Mr. Wilkie took his medicine like a man. That reminds me, Portland, I think I'll see how the Republicans are doing down in Allen's Alley.
What is your question tonight?
Well, this past week, the OPA launched a drive to curb eating places throughout the city that had increased their prices. And so our question is, have you eaten in any restaurant lately where the food price ceilings have been violated?
Shall we go?
Well, as Mrs. Cassidy said to Mr. Cassidy, let's hop along. What a fat handle our mop has. Well, Portland, here we are back in Allen's Alley. I wonder if Senator Bloat is in.
Yes?
Senator Bloat?
Yes, but you'll have to hurry. I'm working on a presidential campaign slogan for Governor Dewey.
But no one knows if Mr. Dewey is going to run.
That's my slogan.
What?
Dewey or don't he?
Very good, Senator. Tell me, are you doing anything about restaurants violating food ceilings?
Yes, all food should be conserved.
Conserved? How do you mean, Senator?
If my bill, the Bloat bill, goes through, all eating places will be closed except Chinese restaurants.
Chinese restaurants? Well, what will people get to eat?
Dehydrated egg foo young.
What is dehydrated egg foo young?
There is no egg in it.
No.
There is no young in it.
No.
It's all food. I think you.
Well, I hope the Senator remembers you can fool some of the people some of the time, but you can't fool all of the people all of the time. Let's try next door.
Well, what is it?
I give up. I don't know. Mrs. Prawn, have you been victimized in any restaurants?
For 20 years, I've been having tea for nothing at the buttered color tea shopping.
Tea for nothing?
I bring my own tea bag. I order a pot of hot water. The hot water is free.
Well, what was the violation?
Yesterday, I went in with my tea bag.
Yes?
I ordered a pot of hot water.
Yes?
The waitress said hot water is 10 cents a pot.
And?
I refused to pay.
Well, when you refused to pay the waitress 10 cents for hot water?
She left me holding the bag.
Mrs. Prawn should report that to the OPA, the Orange Pico Association. Well, what can happen next door here?
No?
Ah, Mr. Rappaport, tell me, have you had any trouble with these food violations?
Violations is had. Only today I'm a victim.
Well, what happened, Mr. Rappaport?
I am going into Shapiro Salami Shangri-La.
Shapiro Salami Shangri-La?
It's a delicatessen.
Oh, I see.
When ordering a jumbo tongue sandwich, it should be with pumpernickel.
I see.
The waiter is bringing the jumbo tongue sandwich, and on the check is marking 20 cents.
You suspected something?
I am lifting up the pumpernickel.
Yeah?
I am looking on the tongue.
Uh-huh.
I am saying, for this, Shapiro is charging 20 cents.
Yes?
The tongue is saying, confidentially, I am formally only 15 cents with mustard.
The tongue was a stool pigeon, hey? Well, what did you do?
I'm calling back the waiter.
You bawled the waiter out?
I am ordering a bottle of seltzer water.
You let them overcharge you for the tongue and you didn't say anything?
No. First, I am drinking the seltzer water.
And after you drank the seltzer water?
Did they hear from me?
Well, that brings us to the little mock stucco cottage at the end of the alley.
Rent the air with trumpets brassy, Falstaff come home again like lassies.
Falstaff, you were concealing something under your loincloth there. More poems?
Ah, yes. Have you heard? My dentist is dead. I have no regrets, for my false teeth clicked like two castanets.
No.
Or, he's cursing his draft board out at Fort Dix. If they waited a week, he'd have been 26.
No.
Or, My mother's beard grows longer daily. She's had 2 offers from Barnum and Bailey.
Now, wait a minute, Falstaff. You're turning this into a horror program. Why don't you pay attention here? Tonight we're discussing the OPA's campaign against restaurant violations.
Precisely why I confront you.
All right. What is your food violation form called?
The meatballs lament.
The meatballs lament. How does it go?
A little meatball on a plate ruefully started to meditate. The meatball sobbed, for my plight today, there's no one to blame but the OPA. Cooked weeks ago, I'm still not sold. My outside is lumpy, my inside is cold. The meatball continued, its voice was tense. On the menu, I'm listed at 60 cents. But the OPA says 30 cents is my ceiling. That's why I'm here with my gristle congealing. Doomed for the nonce on my plate to stay until my status is checked by the OPA. The OPA head, Mr. Chester Bowles, may think that meatballs have no soul. But I'll wager him odds at 10 to 7. When a meatball dies, it goes to Hamburg heaven.
April 9th, 1944, Fred Allen on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Oh, the satire is strong in this hour of the Fred Allen Show, but then that's what Fred did best. April 9th, 1944, the Fred Allen Show on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
That was not very mucho, a Besame mucho. Played by Al... Wait, Mr. Goodman wants to laugh. Now, everybody quiet while Mr. Goodman laughs. All right. Played by Al Goodman and his serenading son-in-laws, or sons-in-law. I don't... say, Portland, what are you reading there? Is Dick Tracy in trouble again?
No, it's a program.
Oh.
Mama and I went to the racetrack opening.
Oh, that's right. Jamaica track did open yesterday. Did your mother win any money?
Well, Mama only made one bet. She lost.
Oh, her horse was slow, hey?
Mama said he ran like a Crosby horse with Sinatra riding him.
Well, that should be a new record in something, but Frankie would make a great jockey. You know, Sinatra only weighs about 80 pounds with his pivot tooth in. Tell me, did the new racing taxes bother the crowd at the track?
Oh, not the people, only the horses.
The taxes bothered the horses?
In the first race, when the winning horse came down the stretch,
Yeah?
on his back he had a jockey and 2 tax collectors.
On the one horse. 3 men on a horse. I saw the play years ago. Well, I'll buzz along, Portland. I have to do some research on my Sherlock Holmes play.
Are you an authority on Sherlock Holmes?
An authority? Why, I got Dr. Watson to join the Needleworkers Union. If I can find an... Why don't you go over in the corner and enjoy it alone? I'll just... Look, if I can find an actor with an English accent, Portland, for my mystery, I'm all set.
Well, can't you get Nigel Bruce?
No, Willie, as we call Nigel in Hollywood, Willie is tied up out there. He's making a sequel to I Walked with a Zombie. It's called The Zombie Came Back Without Me.
Isn't there another actor with an English accent you can get?
Well, I read in a gossip column in Pravda that Reginald Gardiner was in town. I think I'll go over to Reggie's hotel. I'll see you later, Portland.
Yes?
Well, Reginald Gardiner. Reggie, what are you doing sitting on that hot water bag?
Well, I've just finished a USO tour in the Arctic regions, Fred. I can't get thawed out.
Oh, really? And are those goose pimples on the end of your neck?
Yes, this big goose pimple that's doing the talking is my head.
Oh, I see. Well, Reggie, while you're getting defrosted now, if you're not doing anything the next few days...
Well, I'm pretty busy, old man. I'm getting ready to play some more army camp.
Oh, I see.
I was just rehearsing my imitations as you came in.
Oh, really? What do you imitate?
Oh, different things. Have you heard this one? Hi there! Hi there!
What is that?
That's one end of a worm greeting his other end.
Is that all there is to it?
Yes, for reasons known only to itself, the other end of the worm never replies to the greeting.
Oh, I see. It's blunt with the first end. Well,
And now here's another one of my impersonations. Wiggle, wiggle, brrr. Wiggle, wiggle, brrr.
Wiggle, wiggle, brrr. What is that?
That is a snake crawling over an ice cream cone.
Well, in your imitations, it seems, everything talks.
Yes. Have you ever heard a little windshield wiper on a cheap car?
The windshield wiper talks?
Of course it does. It says, it isn't true, it isn't true, it isn't true, it isn't true.
Well, that's swell.
And then there's the windshield wiper on the big car or a truck.
Well, what does that say?
Beef tea, beef tea, beef tea.
You know, I do imitations too, Reggie.
Really?
Oh, yes. Would you like to hear one?
I'd love to hear one, Fred.
Bob White, you all. Bob White, you all.
Bob White, you all.
It's a southern Bob White. But, Reggie, I didn't come over here to ban the impersonations. I want you to appear in a new mystery play I've written.
Oh, no, but I'm no dramatic actor, Fred. I'm a comedian.
Well, you can play this part.
No, I'd probably get a lot of laughs and crumb it up.
Did you say crumb, Reggie? Where did you, an Oxford man, pick up a word like crumb?
Lend-lease, old boy.
Well, look, Reggie, if you'll do my play, we can make a picture out of it.
I've just finished making a picture, Fred.
Oh, a mystery?
No, it's a comedy. It's the new Jack Benny picture.
Well, if there's any comedy in a Benny picture, it's a mystery, Reggie.
Oh, no, really. Jack's swell in this picture, Fred. It's called The Horn Blows at Midnight.
Look, they have to blow a horn in all of the Benny pictures to keep the audience awake. They have a man named Hornblow there who just works on Benny pictures. When Benny's pictures play in New York, they even let civilians in for 28 cents. Look, Reggie, everyone knows you can do comedy. You should try a dramatic role. Now, you might be another Basil Rathbone.
Fred, do you think the world is ready for another Basil Rathbone?
I think some post-war plan about Rathbone should be brought up. You know, you can get your eyes pulled out a little and your hips lowered and be another Peter Lorre.
Well, what's this play of yours about?
It's a murder mystery solved by a man the world has never heard about until tonight. Sherlock Holmes' brother-in-law, Fetlock Bones. This case is called the Pekinese of the Baskervilles. As the play starts, we hear a crescendo of dramatic music.
In the annals of crime detection, no figure looms larger than Sherlock Holmes' brother-in-law, Fetlock Bones. As our story opens, it is a foggy night in London. Fetlock and his friend, Dr. Potson, are at home in their little flat on Baker Street. Dr. Potson is deep in the study of anatomy. An Esquire lies open in front of him. Fetlock Bones is pacing the floor, playing his violin.
I say, Bones.
Yes, Potson?
That tune you're playing, what is it?
It's a new American tune called Mares Thee Dotes and Does Do Likewise, and little lambsies are up to something.
Extraordinary.
I see the telephone. I shall take it, Potson. Are you there?
Are you there?
Yes, are you there?
No, I'm here.
Well, you must be there. I'm here.
Can you come here?
Where is here?
Not far from there.
Well, I shall be there.
Well, I shall be here.
Righto.
Righto.
Cheerio.
Cheerio.
Potson, quick. Me Rayon Burberry, me peaked cap, me needle, me Spike Jones records. I'm off.
Where?
There's been dirty doing. I'm off to Baskerville Mansion.
Good evening, sir.
Thank you. I am Fetlock Bones.
And I am...
I know. You are Mr. Baskerville's butler, Rancid. You were born near Surrey with the fringe on top. You have no shin in your right leg. Your father raises aspidistras, and you have a cousin Cecil who has a punctured eardrum.
Amazing, Mr. Bones. How did you know?
I'm on your draft board. What is the to-do here?
Well, two of Mr. Baskerville's guests have disappeared. This house is cursed, Mr. Bones.
Isn't there some legend about Baskerville Mansion?
Yes, sir. Whenever the Pekinese is heard barking, someone dies.
That's it, the Pekinese of the Baskervilles.
I don't like it, sir. The Pekinese has barked twice tonight.
Where is your master, Barclay Baskerville?
He's in the trophy room. I shall announce you. Announce him, Mr. Fetlock Bones.
I'm Barclay Baskerville. Come in, Mr. Bones.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I see what magnificent trophies you have here on the wall. That lion's head is a ripper, old boy.
Yes, potted the beggar with my second shot.
And the first shot?
Potted my guide.
This is the guide's head mounted on the other wall, with the cowlick and the dimple.
Yes, fortunately he was smiling at the time. Brightens up the room, don't you think?
Rather, rather. Who does your taxidermy?
Moxton, the bird stuffer on Fleet Street.
April 9th, 1944, Fred Allen. Thank you for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. The conclusion follows these messages from your favorite radio station. Just when you thought it couldn't get any better, Mike Lindell and MyPillow launching the MyPillow 2.0. Now, when Mike invented MyPillow, it had everything you could want in a pillow. Now, nearly 20 years later, he's discovered a new technology that makes MyPillow even better. Of course, the patented adjustable fill of the original MyPillow, but now with brand new fabric with a temperature-regulating thread, it's the softest, smoothest, and coolest pillow you'll ever own. Say goodbye to tossing and turning and flipping your pillow over in the middle of the night. And more great news on the MyPillow 2.0 buy one, get one free offer with my promo code Wyatt. MyPillow 2.0 is 100% made in the USA, 10-year warranty, 60-day money-back guarantee. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio podcast square to receive the MyPillow 2.0 buy one, get one free offer. Use my promo code Wyatt or call 1-800-928-4715. Thanks for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Back to the Fred Allen Show. Fred and Reginald Gardiner in a satire. The Sherlock Holmes story, The Pekinese of the Baskervilles.
You can't miss Moxton. He has a weasel throttling a young rabbit in the window.
Oh, I see. What are these trousers you have mounted over here?
I fired at a panther. The panther got away, but he lost his pants.
Lost his pants. Lost his pants. That's a rouser, Baskerville.
It is a bit of the old rowdy dow, what?
Right you are. But let's get down to business. I hear you've had unpleasantness here tonight.
Unpleasantness?
A bit of it, yes. 2 house guests done in. A bit of the old Erie or Delaware Lackawanna or something.
Oh, that? Oh, well, there's nothing you can do about that, old boy. You know the curse of Baskerville Mansion.
You mean the Pekinese of the Baskervilles?
It's been going on for centuries. Whenever the Pekinese barks, someone dies.
I understand the Pekinese has had a go at the acoustics tonight, old boy.
Twice, old man. My party is going to the dogs.
Party is going to the dogs? Oh! Going to the dogs. Who are your guests, old fruit?
We're holding a class reunion.
What school? Oxford, Cambridge?
No, Chiswick on the Uppage.
Oh, Chiswick, Top Hole Academy.
Thank you.
Thank you. Where are you holding the reunion?
In the turmoil room. Through this door. I believe my mates are singing.
Here's to thee, our alma mater, to our classmates, young and old. Here's to Cedric on the Uppage, your traditions we air at home. Wrong, wrong, wrong! We know what from which. Chisel, chisel, chisel it. But definitely. Oh, come in.
Classmates of Chiswick on the Uppage. May I present Fetlock Bones? Bones, this is Pippi Hollister.
Do.
Marmaduke Smith-Smythe.
Do.
Pennington Fumfit.
Do.
And H.H. Buddle, recently returned from America.
How do you do, sir?
I beg your pardon?
I said, how do you do?
Terribly sorry, you're jogging. I can't understand you.
How do you do?
What is this blighter trying to say?
He means to-do.
Oh, to-do.
Buddle has been in America.
Frightful how the colonies poof about with the mother tongue.
Too true, old muffin.
But what about those chaps who disappeared?
It's
filthy, Mr. Burns. We were playing bridge.
The lights went out, a dog barked, a shot rang out.
The lights came on and they were gone.
Ponsonby first, then Leffingwell. They both sat in the same chair.
Show me exactly what happened.
Righto. Let's play another hand of bridge, mates. Will you sit in, Bones?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Marmaduke, will you sit in that vacant chair?
Right, Harry.
We're ready, Baskerville.
Let me see. I did 1 heart. 2 spades.
I knock with 3.
I'm Schneider. I say the lights are off.
The Pekinese of the Baskervilles.
Oh, they're on again.
I say, Marmaduke's gone.
That blasted dog barked again.
The Pekinese of the Baskervilles.
Oh, Bones, do something. 3 Chislett's men have been done away with today. Yes, and each sat in the same chair.
I shall take the fingerprint.
Nobody touched the chair, Bones. They just sat in it.
Sorry, I'm not equipped for prints that large, old boy. There's only one thing to do. We shall reenact the crime. You, Buddle, sit in that chair.
Not that chair.
It's for Chiselich, Buddle.
For Chislett. Righto, Bones.
And now, Baskerville, we'll play another hand of bridge. Who's bid?
The lights, they're off again.
The Pekinese of the Baskervilles.
Let go of my hand. Who's holding my hand?
Not so fast, matey. The lights, Buddle. Quickly, the lights.
They're on, Bones.
The mystery is solved, Buddle. Here sits the murderer. The cove who has done in your 3 Chiselich classmates.
Barkley, Baskerville.
Righto.
This is preposterous, Bones. You can't prove anything.
Oh, no? Then how do you account for this revolver strapped under the bridge table?
Purely a coincidence.
And this push button under the table. When you push it, see? A trap door. Sweeney Todd fashion under the chair gives way.
Just a place for old razor blades.
But, Bones, how do you explain the Pekinese barking?
The dog is concealed in the basement. This other button sends a spark down and gives the Pekinese a hot paw. I suggest you confess, Baskerville.
Yes, Bones, you've got me with my confession down.
You murdered your Chiselich classmate.
I had to, the foul blighters.
Foul blighters, Barkley. The purpose of our class reunion was to present you with a purse of £1 million sterling.
I knew, Buttle. That's why I had to murder the entire class.
You had to kill them because they were going to give you all this money?
The gift tax on £1 million today is £1.5 million.
I see. If you had accepted the gift...
I would have been ruined. The class would have wiped me out.
So instead...
I wiped out the class.
This is Fred Allen speaking for Texaco dealers from coast to coast, reminding you that gasoline powers the attack, and don't waste a drop. Thank you, and good night. Thank you.
This is CBS, Columbia Broadcasting System.
Typical Fred Allen almost getting cut off. April 9th, 1944, Fred Allen on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Well, our friend Ted at RadioMemories.com has supplied us with another episode of Lum and Abner, going back over 90 years to April 9th, 1935, Lum and Abner and the circus. And who's stealing the money?
Here we are, all ready to take you down to Pine Ridge for another visit with Lum and Abner. And now, let's see what's happening down in Pine Ridge. Well, since Lum and Abner have taken over the management of their circus business, the business has improved. But their troubles have just begun. Yesterday, they discovered that the safe had been robbed, and the entire receipts from the preceding day were stolen. As we look in on the old fellows today, we find Lum and Squire Skimp in the wagon that serves as their office and headquarters. Evidently, from their conversation, the disappearance of the money is still a mystery. Listen.
Well, I'm just as anxious to find it as you are, Lum. I don't want you fellas thinking that I took it.
Well, I ain't accusing nobody. All I know, I put the money in the safe night before last, and you was in here yesterday when I went to get it out, and we found it gone.
Yes, but now that's no sign that I got it.
Well, me and you and Abner is the only ones that knows the combination on that safe. And you know me and Abner ain't going to steal nothing from ourselves.
Well, that's just the reason that I'm anxious to get the thing cleared up. Naturally, you and Abner suspicion me, Lum, I know that. But on my word of honor, I haven't opened that safe since you and Abner joined the circus and took charge of the money end of it. I've done a lot of ornery things in my time, Lum, I'll admit that. But this is one thing that I'm not guilty of.
Yeah, I can't help but believe you're telling me the truth, Squire, but I'll swan You ain't bad about walking in your sleep, are you, Squire?
Walking in my sleep?
Yeah, I just thought you might have walked over here in your sleep and took the money out of the safe unbeknownst to yourself, even.
Well, you and Abner's been sleeping right here in the wagon, Lum. If I'd have come in here, why, you'd surely known it.
Yeah, that's right. I don't know. The lock on the safe there ain't been tampered with at all, so whoever got the money is bound to know the combination.
Yes, it looks like it, sure. Oh, where did you get that safe, Lum?
Why, it come with the circus when we taken it over.
Mm-hmm. You haven't seen any suspicious-looking characters hanging around the wagon here in the last few days, have you?
No, not that I know of.
What about Cedric? He hangs around the wagon here right smart long.
Oh, well, it ain't Cedric, I know, no. He's as honest as the day is long.
Well, yes, but young boy that way, he's easily influenced, you know. Somebody else might have put him up to it.
In the first place, Cedric don't even know the combination to the safe. Couldn't open it if he wanted to.
Well, he's been around here, you know, quite a lot. He's seen you and Abner open it, and he might have memorized that combination, Lum.
Lord, me, Squire. Not Cedric, no. He couldn't memorize nothing. I'd as soon tell him what the combination is. He couldn't recollect it long enough to get back here and open it no way.
No.
He can't hardly recollect from one day to the next what his name is.
Yeah, well, of course, I'm just thinking of all the possibilities.
Oh, I'll talk to him, ask him about it, but I know it ain't him. He don't even know what day or what month it is.
Well, in a case like this, Lum, you want to consider everybody guilty.
Yeah, I reckon so. But I know everybody never took it. What I can't understand is how anybody could have come in here and broke in this wagon and opened that safe and took the money without waking me or Abner one.
Well, now, of course, it might have been done in the daytime, Lum.
No, we always keep the wagon locked up in the daytime unless me or Abner one's right here with it. Or else I leave somebody here with it to watch it for me. Like yesterday morning, I was gone for a few minutes, but I left Zenora's brother here to keep an eye on the safe.
Zenora's brother?
Yeah, he run over here yesterday morning and said Zenora wanted to see me around back of the big top right quick, so I got him to stay here in the wagon. I weren't gone more than 10 minutes, no way.
Well, now, I believe we're getting somewhere, Lum. Yes, sir. I thought that fella had a pretty shifty eye on him, yes, sir.
Squire, if you're fixing to accuse him, you're just getting off on the wrong track. In the first place, he's Zenora's brother and would no more think of stealing than he would of flying. And in the second and third place, he don't even know the combination to the safe. And we know that whoever took the money did know it.
Yes, that's right, sure. And it looks like that about lets him out, then.
Why, sure it does.
Lum, are you sure that you put the money in the safe night before last?
Why, sure I put it in there. You ain't suspicioning me, are you, Squire?
No, I just thought that you might have hid it someplace else, you know, and forgot about it.
No, sir. I've got proof that I put the money in the safe right after the show closed, night before last.
You say you've got proof?
Yes, sir. Right after the show, Zenora was complaining about being hungry, and I told her I'd take her over town there and buy her something to eat. But we come by the wagon here first for me to put the money up, on account I didn't want to be packing that much cash on me, and she sat right there in that chair, right there, and seen me open the safe and put the money in the shoebox. And I can prove it by her.
Oh, Zenora, then, was in here when you put the money up, huh?
Yes, sir. I can prove it by her.
Well, wouldn't it have been mighty easy for her to watch you work that combination, then come back here later?
Now, wait just a minute, Squire. Just stop right where you're at. Don't you start accusing that little woman of having anything to do with this. There's as fine a little woman as ever drove.
Well, now, Lum, I ain't saying that she done it. I just said that...
leave her name out of it. I can tell you right now, she never had a thing to do with it.
Well, all right, Lum. It's your money. That's the way you feel about it. Why, it's all right with me.
Well, that's the way I feel about it. Every time anybody's name's been brung up, you've tried to pint suspicions at them, and I'm getting good and tired of you.
What's going on in here?
Well, come on in, Abner.
It's about time you opened up a ticket office, Lum. There's a big crowd gathered around there in front of the tent.
There is.
Well, I expect I better get out there and make my spiel then.
Well, I'll be around there quick as I get some money out of the safe for change.
Well, I'll go ahead and get the crowd gathered in, Lum.
All right.
Yeah, what's the matter with you and Squire? Sound like you was arguing about something.
Yeah, he's trying to say Zenora was the one that taken that money out of the safe yesterday.
Well, what's his reason for saying that she done it?
Well, he never had none. That's what made me so mad. You know, Abner, I'm getting sort of suspicious of Squire now.
Squire? No, I don't believe Squire done it, Lum.
Yeah, he's the only one that knows the combination outside of me and you. And he's got a key to the wagon, too.
Yeah, but I still don't think it was him.
Well, what got me more suspicious than ever, I've been cross-examining him in here.
Yeah.
Examining him. And everybody's name that was brung up, he tried to make me think that they was the one that done it.
Well, I reckon he's just interested in trying to help, Lum. That's the reason he done it.
Yeah, but I've been trying cases in my Justice of the Peace Court for a spell of years now. If you want my notions on it, when you see a feller pointing his finger at everybody else, accusing them, you better watch out for him. Squire's trying to lay this on everybody else's doorstep except his own. Accusing Zenora. The very idea.
Who else did he accuse?
Well, he just same as accused me there once.
You?
I wanted to know if I was sure to put the money in there. I already got up right then and... Wait a minute. Come here, Cedric. Come here a minute.
You already got up and done what, Lum?
Nothing. I want to talk to Cedric. Squire was accusing him, too.
Accusing Cedric? Why, he never done it. I know that.
Why, of course not. He don't even know the combination on the safe.
I know.
Where are you going, Cedric?
I was going, I was... no place. I don't even know. I was just...
Well, come on in here, Cedric. Come inside.
Yeah, I want to have a little talk with you. Sit down over there.
Yeah, sit down, Cedric.
Yes, Mom. What do you want to talk about?
Cedric, you might have knowed of it, but there was some money took out of the safe here sometime yesterday.
Oh, yes, I knowed about that. It was $430.70.
Yeah, that's right, Cedric. That's just what it was.
Yeah. You don't know who took it or nothing like that, do you?
Well...
Why, of course he don't, Lum. You know what Cedric never took it.
Well, I know the reason you wouldn't know, Cedric, but there's another fellow around here that's sort of accusing you of it. I wanted to cross-examine you so as I could prove to him that you don't know nothing about it.
Yeah.
Yes, Mom.
Well, Lum, you just tell Squire that Cedric don't know nothing about it. Just put a stop to that right now. I did, accusing Cedric. Another thing, Lum, you better get on around there in front, and folks will be wanting to buy a ticket and can't get in the show.
Yeah, well, I got to get my tickets and change together here. Run around in front there, Abner, and tell Squire to keep his spiel going till I get there.
Yeah, well, you hurry up, boy. He can't talk all day.
Oh, I'll be there directly. Well, let's see. I've got to get in that safe again. If I can recollect the combination. Sort of slips my mind. Let's see, starts here at north.
Yes, Mom.
Then round to the right to 70 and back to
20.
Yeah, 20. And then back to 45. I recollect that. And then let's see.
Back to 70 again.
Yeah, that's right. 70, yeah. Yeah, that ought to open it. Yeah, that's got it. Let's see. I better take about $20 out for... Wait a minute.
What's the matter, Mr. Lum?
It's gone. It's gone again. Look at that. I put $211 in here last night, Cedric. Somebody's robbed that safe again, I know.
Well, what do you know about that? Maybe you can tell us how this money is disappearing. We still have a little time left, folks, and I want to use it to read a letter from a good friend, a doctor in Indiana. He says, I have been practicing medicine for 25 years, most of those years in a country community where there were many characters like Lum and Abner. I have used Horlick's malted milk for babies for many years and always find it reliable and sure to furnish the proper food for every need of my bottle-fed babies. We in our family also use a lot of Horlick's malted milk, as described by Carlton Brickert, your announcer, and find it just as he describes. Although, for that matter, we had been using it for many years before he became a radio announcer. Yes, many years before anyone ever dreamed or heard of radio. End of quote. Well, thank you, Doctor, for your letter. Your reference to using Horlicks many years ago is especially interesting. Every day we get an amazing number of letters from folks brought up on Horlicks many, many years ago. Then, as now, it is the great American food drink for all ages. You can get it, at your druggist in either natural or chocolate flavor. This is Carlton Brickert speaking for Lum and Abner and Horlicks, who now bid you all good night and good health.
So Horlicks is no longer manufactured in the U.S. It's now made in England. And the interesting part is the only place I see that you can get Horlicks malted milk is through Amazon. It's and the only thing I can see that Amazon has as far as Horlicks is just the original. They also have the European formula of Ovaltine and, of course, Milo. And if any of you know anybody from Asia, Milo is very popular, in the South Americas as well. But, I thought you would like to hear how they pitched Horlicks malted milk back in the day. April 9th, 1935, Lum and Abner here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Thank you so much for making us a part of your day. Would you thank this station and support their advertisers? It is their kindness and courtesy that allow us to be with you each and every time we roll around here on your favorite radio station. Now, if you miss a day, you don't have to miss a single show. All of our shows are available on demand at classicradio.stream. That's classicradio.stream. You can stream our shows. You can learn about building a classic radio collection of your own. You can find our social media links, and you can also buy me a coffee. The Buy Me a Coffee money is what helps us to maintain our distribution channels and also to help us when we continue to acquire additional classic radio theater collections. That's classicradio.stream. That's classicradio.stream. Thank you so much for making us a part of your day. Tell all your friends the great radio shows are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox here on your favorite radio station.